no petit meal, that's a special corn they eat in that place. He said the turtle couldn't have food along the year, and so what happened is that tutu senegalensis probably migrated to others, better sites. So this very interesting display, classical one of the data table, when there is time, needs to understand that here there is a split, and if I had at that time provided a hierarchical clustering, I did not, because computers were too slow with this dimension for the big. I think yes, there were. So it's only a factorial analysis, but of course we should have seen that there was this difference. But this is a nice way to look at it and to explore the situation. So this is the first point. Second point about data, temporal data, is the problem of discrete or continuous. Well, also Mezekri also said something about that. But the former Frédéric Ferrati, when using functional data analysis, he said that it was equal. You could manage with continuous or discontinuous with functions. Actually, it's not exactly the same thing when you have time. Why? All of you've been in hospital and you measure your fever when you are in hospital every day or twice a day, and you got, of course, points like that. But rarely then the points like that, because you see nothing. Everybody draws little lines like that, of course. Yes. We argued on that yesterday. Because from an exploratory point of view, a graphical point of view, you understand much more what is going on with the time series when you make this. More generally, you can fit a spline, of course, through the points. You could, well, here it's no you, this is quite linear, but anyway. You could fit a spline through different points and get a continuous graph. And this is interesting. First of all, for an exploratory point of view, because our cognition is much better on graphs nowadays, especially I saw it with young students, than with numbers. The machine is good at numbers, figures, but we are much better at graphs. So when you want to build some softs to explore time series, it's much better to have a very good graphical module than display lots of number of figures. But that's what it wants to do. So to draw a continuous function is, in this aspect, much better. But there is another point. Sometimes when you're looking for some statistics to compress the data or to understand how a population is aggregating, having a mathematical explicit formula for something like a polynomial, for example, from a spline, can give you an idea of what kind of statistic can be used, because you have some easier formulas, mathematical formula than others. And for example, if you use an exponential or something, you know that the derivative that's very important for time series is also an exponential. So you have an idea of what to do, what to choose as a statistics. Last week I listened to a talk where informaticians were against mathematicians on that topic. On the same data set, it was a question of evolution of cells, of population of mice, white and red mice, let's say, and how the population did go on. And the informatician they used, not explicitly, but somehow, a statistics to point out this evolution. That was not at all the one the mathematician did use from stochastic processes and so on. the mathematician was puzzled by that. He said, well, why did they choose that strange formula? And they wanted the mathematics fits with the formula. He's been looking a long time for that, and at the end, he could understand what the mathematicians did, why it worked. He had some approximate formula that fitted with the way they run the algorithms. So, that is to say that sometimes, of course, it's good to be continuous because you may have some ideas, and sometimes maybe discrete, because when you're on the computer, anyway, it's discrete, so at the end, when you measure two dissimilarities, it's from a discrete infinite set of points. The third problem for time series, a very serious one, is the problem of IDD. After that, it collapsed. Okay, what is the problem of IDDs? It is a serious problem. The learning community deal with IDD hypotheses. You have very few hypotheses, very few ones, but this one is absolutely necessary. Yes? Yes. For all of you, I heard all the talks, and you always tell that IDD is absolutely necessary. In time series, there's a problem. Because, let's just take one to tackle this statistic process. If you have here time points, and here you imagine you have some distribution. First of all, the distribution may not be the same ones, but we deal with stationarity, we know what to do, so we do what it's called stationarized phenomenon. So derivating in a certain mode and smoothing in a certain way and so on, you can reach the same here, let's say the same probability, the same random variable here. Even if it's not exactly the same one, you have the same mean, the same variance, and so on. But the problem of independency is totally stupid in this case. Because when you want to learn something from a sequence, a time sequence, in this case ordered one, it's very important, for example, in Riemann models, to have an autocorrelation which is not null. Because if there's no autocorrelation, there is no story here to tell about. Nothing's happened. You can tell nothing. So, it is not IDD. It is not I, first of all. And this is the crucial issue. This is the problem. I hope somebody will tell something about that. Yes? We'll see. So these are the three main problems about time series I wanted to talk about. Now, just to show you some recent way of treating data, temporal data, which is not this way, which is a classical way of data analysis, especially for exploration, but you can also infer elements from this type of approach. Instead of, so I have to wipe. So, instead of having, in the first way of displaying the table, I tell you, like, if you have n units, and you have, unit or L, and you have P features, and you have n dates and points for the time. One matrix is L, P, N, and the other one is L, N, P. So this is the dimension of the table you have to handle. Another way, not in the code, is just embedding the situation in the functional framework Frédéric just presented previously. To be again on a LP matrix, but in each cell, imagine here an Excel line. In each cell, you get a function. What is here? Time. Time was break. This is time. So we developed in our lab an editor for those kinds of tables. I want to show you if I can retrieve it in some way, but somewhere it must be. There's nothing on this presentation. Please.